Thanks for checking out a new episode of Bad Advice with Chris Cubis, the show where unqualified people give unsolicited advice. I'm joined this week by comedian and podcast host Jon Gabrus, comedian and returning guest Rachel Hall. We have a hell of a good time this week. Are your teenage sons showering with their friends? Does your husband refuse to stop grabbing random women's asses? This podcast may be for you. Check it out. I did my first comedy show in over a year, thanks to the wonderful science of fucking vaccines. People are talking a lot about like, oh, what do you expect from that second shot? You're going to get laid up. Here's what no one's talking about. You have lost the ability to interact with human beings, or at least I have. That first time back in public in front of people was weird and uncomfortable, but that shit goes away in a little bit. And then you just sort of settle back into a life of what we were doing, which was watching vintage pornography in a bar full of people. So maybe that might not be your introduction to society, but it worked out for me.
Things were awkward at the bar. That was playing vintage pornography. Yeah. Oh, weird.
That is our first guest, host of the High and Mighty podcast, Action Boys. You can find on Patreon. Jon Gabrus, how's it going?
It's wonderful, Chris. Thanks for having me, sir. I'm very happy on this Tuesday. I don't even know days anymore because I'm still not vaccinated.
I think it's Tuesday. I think you are my maybe second to last pre-pandemic comedy show.
Bro, you were one of my
right?
you were one of my last, because that I did that Texas tour. That was like late January or early February, and I was supposed to do way more dates touring the podcast, and that was my last round. I came back up from I came back from Texas and it was done. I was maybe going to turn around and go to Arizona for the Doughboys, and then it all and that's I did a lot of traveling right before the pandemic hit.
Right when it was still
I realized
you are the problem. All right.
Dude, let me break you down real quick for both of you guys what me and my wife did in February and March 2020. She went to Paris, Budapest, and London for work in like February 2020, and then JFK, LA, and New York, LAX. I did 2 weekend-long tours in New York, Boston, and Philadelphia, and then I also did a Texas tour, flying all the way back and forth. And I went to an international rugby tournament in like mid-February, and the crowd was like half full in LA, and my buddy, Australian guy's like, I think everyone's a little afraid of the disease, mate. I was like, disease? I was like, get me my fucking ass home. And then I started washing bananas for the next fucking 6 months.
Yeah. I did an international rugby tour. I went to Wuhan and I licked some bus seats. Just had a real. How about that? That other voice you hear is Rachel Hall. Rachel, how's it going today?
Hey, Chris. I'm back.
Yeah, one of the few reappearing guests. I had to pick. I was like, I got Gabrus coming on. He's like a real strong, like improviser, good podcast guest. I need somebody that's gonna like be able to talk and not be intimidated by somebody else talking. And I was like, oh, I have the exact right person. The person who barely let me speak the last time she was on my podcast.
Hell yeah, Chris, you might want to just mute your mic now and let me and Rachel go off.
Yes.
I'm going to walk the dog. I'll be back in a minute.
Set it and forget it, podcasting, baby.
I know, I feel bad. I don't have any super spreader stories like you do. Like I didn't go fucking anywhere. I went down the street to the Laugh Factory. That's what I did. Then I came back.
That'll do.
That's all I did.
The last show I did before this was, and it was like 2 days before lockdown in Texas, I hosted the Austin Music Awards with the homie Jackie Venson. Shout out Jackie Venson, by the way, blowing up. She's had her ACL taping this year. She's killing it. But that being said, I did like a giant, they packed like 600 people into this small thing. And like the mayor came out on stage and was like, hey guys, we really need to start taking this pandemic seriously. Watch. And I'm like, you're on the same stage as I am right now. We're both drunk. What are you talking about?
COVID doesn't like alcohol. Get as drunk as you want. Listen, next pandemic, I'm going everywhere. At this point, I'm just fucking going. All right? We're all going to die. So just fucking go.
I'm going to jump the gun. I'm so mad that this pandemic, I didn't do some shit where I like got rid of my apartment and lived on a lake in like Arizona or something. So I'm gonna jump the gun. The next time I'm like, someone's like, yeah, there might be. I'm like, all right, sell all my possessions, move to like a lake in Oregon, and be like, I'm gonna live here for the year. And then it's like, false alarm, everything's open still. You fucking idiot.
You can be one of those fucking TikTok people living in a van that is now like, but that's like a thing rich people do now, not just, homeless.
Yeah, hipsters have made like
the
unhoused troubles
exactly.
into.
Yeah.
Now
fucking
it's no
turn a
man's land
school
for
bus
fun.
into a fucking motel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. That's what they love.
That's what they love. What we love here at this podcast is giving advice to people that write weird letters to Dear Abby. Now, John, what is your familiarity level with Dear Abby? Because some people don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm old enough that I'm familiar with her as like a reference I got from other shows and TV and stuff, which is like how I learned about most stuff that was like book related as a kid, or like anything that was like read. It was like, did The Simpsons mention it? Then I've heard of it, like
exactly.
Yeah, that's how but I'm familiar with the trope of the write-in and Dear Abby being one of the OGs.
Gotcha. Yeah. You'd be surprised the amount of people that just like are our age and look at me like I'm fucking crazy. And I'm like, it's like I get like, I don't know the Beatles like catalog, but I know who the Beatles. I know the Beatles. I don't know the deep cuts, but I get the reference.
The Beatles are garbage. You should just
hot. I love it. Coming in hot, Rachel. Beatles are garbage. You say
Beatles are the most overrated band in the history of music. I said what I said, and I will not take it back. I said what I said. It's sad when Little Boosie got more cred than that.
I do love that you have no reason, you have no like argument to back up the statement. You just
tried.
Yelled it.
I mean, it's true, but I've tried. I've tried to listen to that crap, and it's just stupid. It's so dumb. I think they have one good song. I only like the Beatles like early poppy shit that I guess is not what real Beatles heads like. I like, like the, Can't Buy Me Love kind of stuff. I think that's I might be saying it wrong. But like, I don't know. Anytime they get like, into like Yellow Submarine.
You lost me.
Yeah, not to be the white guy on this podcast, but
that's why you're here, John.
I can't help but like the Beatles, but they are not. I would go. They are definitely. I don't think they're the most overrated band ever, but they are overrated. They get way like people talk about them. They
top
are legends.
10 overrated. Probably top 3.
Ron Funches tweeted like this week something like, as soon as we admit Outkast is better than the Beatles, the nation can move on. And I kind of agreed to that one. I was like, yeah, I could say the Outkast can beat the Beatles at their own game for sure.
Versus does Timbaland and
the verses of a lifetime. Paul McCartney versus Andre 3000.
Who has better bars? Who has better bars?
Yeah. Steve Harvey is still hosting in that purple suit from this past weekend.
Show me Beatles.
Let's go ahead and read some of these letters. We'll get into this. I got some weird ones this week because this show is, man. Okay, we'll start with an easier weird, and then we'll get into the deep weird. Dear Abby, I work in a cubicle in close proximity to my coworkers. I can't help but hear everything. A coworker who sits next to me is driving me crazy. She spells her name wrong to customers every day, 20 times a day. She also makes seductive moans during the day. I almost want to peek over the cubicle to see what she's doing. When I have mentioned to her that perhaps she must spell her name so often to customers because she's spelling it wrong in the first place, her retort is, no, I don't. Everyone in the office can hear her too. They think it's funny. Abby, she's making me crazy. Should I record her for a few hours and play it back? Unless I do, she won't believe she does it. By the end of the week, I can hardly speak to her. Please help. Signed, Tortured in Orange, California. Can you tell someone else that they're spelling their name wrong? It feels like a thing you get to decide.
Clearly, this woman is entertaining herself by lying to customers. I do it all the time. Mind your own business, Lauren, and let her do what she wants to do.
Yes, Troubled in Orange needs to purchase headphones. Then you're going to love your job.
Love it.
I have a question. What do we think is the gender of the person who wrote this letter?
White woman, 42 years of age.
100% a woman. because no dude would complain about a female coworker moaning. No heterosexual man. Like they're sickos. We're sickos.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
are.
I am a sicko. A white straight man. If I had a female coworker that moaned from her desk throughout the day, I would not say a thing. But I would also know what she was doing while she moaned. I'd be like.
So I do have this question. Here's where I think it might be a dude. The seductive like the fact that he includes or they include seductive, like I don't know that a woman describes that as such. I think a woman says a much more straight. She's fingering herself under that whatever she's like. She's just more direct with it.
Yeah.
Like
and the fact that he says,
I think she's clam jamming at her desk. Okay.
That's how women talk. I do think maybe those Long Island women are used to do. But what I mean to say is the fact that he says seductive makes me think that the person who wrote this letter is being seduced. Like they are feeling the effects of this in a way. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
As opposed to just hearing the noises and being annoyed. This feels like someone who's like, I'm hard all the time and it's that bitch next to me's fault. And I feel like that, you know what I'm saying?
But see, I feel like a man would say, I'm hard all the time and this bitch next to me won't shut up.
That could be.
That's why I feel like
hard
it's like
in Orange, California.
It's like a conservative woman. That's why I think it's like a conservative woman who probably goes to like Lutheran church or some orthodoxness where they're like, but she's probably talking about a black woman whose name probably has 18 different spellings. And then she's probably not seductively moaning as she's just doing like the classic,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I was going to try to do an impression. I was going to do an impression too, Rachel. I thought that this seductive moaning might be this noise. Just like, here I am at my desk again. Another fucking day. It does have a slight, like even your, it has a little seductive. I could see how someone might misinterpret it. But also, if she's a black woman spelling her name, she's not spelling it wrong at all. She's like, this white guy is like, that's not how you spell Marissa. It's like, that's how she spells Marissa.
I also want to say, I think you're right. I think, Gabrus, you're right on the moan. I think it's a sigh of gasp, just like an exasperated sigh. And I think this boring white dude thinks of that as a sex noise because that is the noise he gets from his fucking sexual partners. I think he hears... and she's like, she's definitely fucking over there. That's what my wife sounds like.
A literal wood chipper just started outside my house. Can you guys hear that?
I could just heard. I'm hearing like a slight buzzing. It's not.
Okay.
It's not
Sorry
bad.
about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
And then, most worst come to worst.
It just picked up and just seeing Gabrus' face. Sorry.
Oh, I hear it.
I'm gonna take a note to just clip that little moment of me freaking out.
It's like I just closed my window. It's like. Based on, because I live in Los Angeles and a shitty West Hollywood apartment, it's like 6 feet away, and this apartment is like made of sheetrock. This thing is gonna fucking rattle.
It's so funny.
It should be done soon, though. It looks like.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, but worst come to worst, she's probably also just watching old tennis matches, and when you hit that ball hard enough, you get that.
You hit that grunt.
And that sounds. Like some, hardcore bang bro sex, but that sounds like sex.
Also, I want to say this. He does say, I almost want to peek over the cubicle to see what she's doing. If your cubicle mate is making fuck noises at work, you can peek. You're allowed to look over. Yeah.
You're allowed to be like, you just have to say, is everything okay? That's the most passive-aggressive way to let someone know you can hear them. As a married man, frequently when my wife is like looking at her phone and bitching about something, I say, I'll be like, is everything okay? And she's like, oh, sorry, was that out loud? And I'll be like, yeah, let's either talk about it or not talk about it.
And then if it is a dude, Chris, if it is a man complaining, then instead of saying that, he could just look over and say, do you need some help? And then we'll all know.
Yeah, if they work in the Bang Bros office, apparently. Have you guys had cubicle jobs? I've worked a lot of fucking cubicle jobs in my day. And I had a dude literally just start clipping his toenails next to me. Just the people that don't understand, you think you're in an office, but you're just in a chair next to me. I can't see your computer,
cardboard.
but I can see you. Yeah.
I can hear nails going boing, shooting off your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had that job. He didn't clip his toenails, but the person that sat next to me would always take his shoes and socks off, and I could swear his socks must have always been wet because you could it was just fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like when he takes it off, it makes that like slap squeegee noise when he drops it on the rug.
Like a watery fart.
God, I wish I could try. I wish I had another kind of fart in my repertoire. These days, all watery.
Gabrus, you ever had a cubicle gig?
Yeah, I was a PA on Best Week Ever, and it was kind of a office PA job. So I shared a cubicle, but it was the case of like a bunch of 22-year-olds who wanted to be in entertainment. So it was a hype little cubicle. Like it was fun. Like those, I'm still friends with like 3 of them. I never had like, I've temped a bunch as a struggling actor. So I've spent plenty of time like in an office, but in those cases, I'm trying to lay as low as possible. I'm not interacting with that. I'm like minimizing resistance at all. They're like, can you do this? I'll disappear for an hour and be like, I don't know how to do it. Like, already got my $11, you know?
I want to go back to this letter for a second. He says like he tells her that she's spelling her name wrong, and she says no, I don't, which should be the end of that sentence, right? You don't. If someone tells you that's how they spell their name, it's how they spell their name. But here's where I also think it's a dude. Everyone in the office can hear her too. They think it's funny. Sounds like a dude assuming that everyone agrees with him. I don't know that he's like talked to everybody else in the office. This doesn't seem like this. As someone who has worked a lot of call center jobs, this seems like someone who like bitches in the lunchroom because everybody they think everybody's going to go with them, and everybody else is like, can you just like shut? Like I'm just trying to have my coffee and watch a couple episodes of Parks and Rec before I go back to my fucking
Chris,
soul-crushing job.
You might be right. I could imagine him writing this letter and then getting to that part and going like, man, I'm starting to seem like an asshole. And everyone else can hear too. You know, like it feels like he's like, why am I saying all this? Other people hate her too.
Absolutely. I know. I also am a little concerned about this becoming a fucking school, like an office shooter situation. It's like, she's driving me crazy. I can't take it. And here's another reason I think it's a dude. Should I record her for a few hours and play it back?
Because
that is a creepy dude. Yeah, exactly. But that is a creepy dude's idea. A woman's not going to just be like, oh, I'll just set up some microphones around here and then play it back for her because they'll know what it's like to have your fucking privacy violated. This just seems like a dude who goes to the spy shop in his town, which should be an automatic fucking watch list. I think the only advice we can give this dude is to not
headphones.
Do this anymore. Yeah, get some headphones, obviously, like you guys said. And leave this poor woman alone.
And if this was like the 70s, I'd say make a small noise back. But in 2021, keep your fucking mouth shut. Get the hell out of there. But if I wanted to give bad advice or joke advice, I'd say if you hear a cue make a, you got to go, na or something back.
Exactly. Yeah, let's turn that shit up a little bit. Let's have some fun. There's also that. See, that's the only thing. Like, this dude is the guy at your shit job that takes it too seriously, and there's nobody worse, right? You know what I mean? That you're just trying to get through an 8-hour shift at Best Buy, and this guy's just got like suggestions. Can you know what I mean? That's still like the worst person to work with. Let's go ahead and move on to our next letter. I've got this one's going to be fun. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Dear Abby, I am the single dad of 2 teenage boys, 17 and 18, who are both in high school. I'm wondering about something they do with their friends. The boys take showers in large groups. When they come in from running or sports, or if a group is spending the night, they shower in groups of 2, 3, or 4. It's not like we have a huge shower. It's a normal size. I know there's nothing sexual going on because I can hear them talking and joking around. When I asked the boys about this, they looked at me like I had 2 heads. They said it's just a social thing and that the same as showering together after football in the school gym. They also air dry after showers by walking around in towels, sometimes watching TV or goofing off for hours in towels. When going out, they get naked in the bathroom, fixing their hair, shaving, brushing their teeth, etc. It's like a big nude fest with them and their friends. While I'm glad they are comfortable with their bodies and who they are, it still bothers me somewhat. Am I being a prude and thinking this is unusual or inappropriate? Signed, Stumped in Kentucky.
In 2021, post quarantine, we're showering with homies. That's the new rule. Homies are showering together post quarantine.
Cleaning with the homies.
Yeah. Let's talk a little pre-quarantine. This is okay. Maybe I'm just a 43-year-old washed ass dude who doesn't know how young people interact. This isn't. I've never showered with a friend. I don't even want to shower with my fiance. Like, I'm trying to shower. This isn't like, I got work to do in here. You know what I'm saying?
In my head, I'm picturing, because I'm one of 3 boys. Like, I have 2 younger brothers. So, and we all shared a bathroom growing up. And it would be the thing where it'd be like, one brother's shitting, one brother's showering, one brother's brushing his teeth. Sure. I could see a world where it's like, if you're boys, it's like, well, let's not break up the convo. We both have to shower. Because the way he's describing his kids and their friends, that was sort of my college experience. Was like living in the dorm with like 8 guys. It's like, get out of the shower in your towel and then start playing PlayStation in your towel and not get dressed for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but you weren't in a I can understand like a gym group shower because high schools and stuff are that is a different thing.
Sure.
But even in college, the shared bathroom thing was stalls. You still had your own bathroom. They just
I don't think they're
near each other.
I don't think they're in the stall together. That's what I'm saying. Is
you said they have a regular people shower. That shower is meant for one. So if there's 3 of them in the one person shower, somebody's nasty still.
Okay, because I'm thinking 2 of them are like in the bathroom but not in the shower, and it's like, leave the water running, bro. I'll jump in, and like they switch out that way.
That's not the craziest thing in the world. However, I'm leaning with Rachel because he has broached this with them.
Right.
So in my head, he has said, "Hey, are you guys showering together?" And they went, "Come on, man, be cool." Like that, you know what I'm saying? So like
I don't fully understand young people's sexuality either. Like, I love it. I'm very happy for everybody that's got. But for me, like, could it just be like that is not a thing anymore? You know what I mean? Like, because I remember in high school after football practice, our coach is like, everyone hit the showers, and we were like, no, I'll just go home dirty and shower at my house, like, because I'm 16, and it was like, no, get in the shower, and like we didn't want to take group showers, but I could see 25-30 years later that it's been flipped a little, and people are like, fuck it. I mean,
100%. I'm kind of thinking the same. That's what I meant by saying maybe I'm just too washed, because like, I definitely of an age that had anything remotely homosexual leaning beaten or humiliated out of you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not even the idea like I was actually being gay, but just the thought of like if you did anything, even on the remotely most fucking just patriarchal toxic male thought might be gay, you just got called the F word and then got your ass kicked.
Yeah,
you know
I got called the F word by family members because I really liked movies. You know what I mean? Like that was like the late 80s, early 90s was like, I was like, whoa. And now it's like kids are showering together and it's like, it's not gay, Dad. Relax.
Look at Jon enjoying the plot.
Getting that vibe.
Look at him enjoying the plot and listening to cinematography. What the hell kind of gay shit is that?
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, though. And like all the other stuff, when you put it in that context, isn't weird. It's very much like, oh, you are showering, you're taking a shit, like you said, or like you're getting out and you guys are just, hanging out, whatever, in, underwear or towels or whatever. But the idea that you also, I immediately, and that might just be that beating that was beaten into me, when I heard the idea that they were just coming home and showering together, and I was very much like, oh, why would you possibly I remember going to Boy Scout camp and having to be like, you'd have to do showers, there's big group showers in them fucking mountains at Boy Scout camp, and just being like, I'm going to wait until the dark and just kick raccoons out of the shower stall because I'm not doing this.
It'll be me and the other kid who's never seen without a t-shirt on in the showers together at 1 a.m.
100%. I'm getting out of this lake in my t-shirt. I'm wearing this t-shirt to the shower. That's how this t-shirt's getting washed.
Our generation is so... sorry.
No, I was going to say, we never did that in Girl Scouts. So that's...
The girl, that's an interesting. Girls don't shower together. Do you have like? Did you ever do sport? I never did sports growing up.
Yeah,
so, like my group,
I did sports, but we all just went home.
Yeah, you just ride dirty in high school. It felt like, and in college too. We didn't like after the gym. It'd be like, well, I'll just drive home and shower there. I don't need to shower at the gym.
Roll the windows down.
Right.
I was gonna say, like, our generations are so different. If I just like came home with 5 friends unannounced, whether we were showering, sucking, and fucking whatever, my dad would be like, "Get your fucking friends out of here. This ain't a hostel." Don't they have water at their house? Go fucking. That's like what my dad could walk in on me sucking a guy's dick if he's like, "Shut the water off. I'm not paying for the whole goddamn neighborhood." Like that would be his attitude.
Yeah,
absolutely. I remember one time my friend Raheem and my friend Melinda walked over. We were like, kind of, our house was set kind of far away from everybody else's houses, so like I didn't have a lot of people over. I kind of went to other people's houses a lot, and but they came over and like said hi to people downstairs, walked upstairs with me to my room, and we like hung out for like half an hour or whatever. And when we left, my parents were just like, they never do that again. And I was like, do what again? I don't even understand. And then they were like, be here. I said, okay. I guess that's what we're doing. I don't know if they thought we were running a train on Melinda upstairs or whatever, but I was like, I'm not even going to ask. We're just not going to do this, I guess.
Yeah, this has got to be a recent letter because the dad's confused about like, I'm wondering what he's doing in there. Meanwhile, like, because that makes him sound like him and his son are peers. My generation was like, my dad was like, no. You don't like, if my dad says, I don't like you guys showering together, that's the fucking rule. No more showering. We got to go to Chris's house if we want to shower together. Gabrus's dad won't let us.
I think if anything, what dad needs to do is, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Just just take your dick out too. Like everyone.
I say join them and beat them.
You want to put an end to this fucking showering shit? You jump in.
My turn, boys. They'll never come back.
Yeah, hand the friend the loofah. Be like, get the small of my back.
Exactly.
That's the end of that shit.
Later.
Just make everything fucking new. Fry some chicken. Do whatever you got to do. If you just don't like it.
We could go. Actually, that'll lead us into our next one pretty well, I think. Dear Abby, my boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years. We finally moved in together a year ago. Things have been going pretty well, with the exception of an unusual habit of his that has become more evident since living together. He spends anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours in the bathroom every day. A couple of times, he's even fallen asleep in there.
Oh.
He takes his computer in the bathroom because he claims he gets a lot of work done. Sorry. I just choked up the lie. Oh, hold on. I scrolled too far. Bear with me for a second. He takes his computer into the bathroom because he claims he gets a lot of work done. Some days I barely get to see him because he works late and then spends the rest of the day you know where. I have told him more than once how much it bothers me, but he continues to do it. It's driving a wedge between us. Am I overreacting? Is he purposely trying to put space between us? Signed, tired of the toilet turmoil.
Tea, baby.
She better let that man jack off in the bathroom.
Nobody's bringing their laptop into the bathroom because they have a Zoom meeting they have to jump on. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I go with my phone. I will sometimes take a longer than average shit if I've got a good run going on Bejeweled or whatever the fuck I'm playing. But like, this man seems to clearly be spent like 2.5 hours.
It's too much. It's bad for your back. You can't even just.
I know. Have you ever sat on the toilet and then your butt starts to go numb when you sit there for too long? You can't. You can't watch a Marvel movie on the fucking toilet. That's too long.
I stood up off the toilet and like tripped over my own underwear because my feet are so pins and needles from like leaning on your thigh. Like, I used to bring I still do it once in a while. I like bring the Nintendo Switch in there with me for like at one point I would like post up for a shit with like an ashtray, a joint, and a Nintendo Switch and be like, I'll be out in an hour, babe. It's like, I'm just gonna fucking post up. I'm gonna take 3 shits without wiping in between is the truth.
So now, here's the thing. My father used to keep like sorry,
just nice and greasy on there.
My father used to keep like 6 books in the bathroom because he was a toilet reader for sure. And he would I remember thinking as a kid, like, oh, you're in there for like an hour. What's happening? I don't know about you. I'll take a shit and then I leave. I have more comfortable rooms in my house. Like, why are you? I don't understand. I don't get the motivation.
If they're in there that long and they're literally on the toilet, if they're literally sitting on the toilet, I need to know what kind of cover they have on their toilet, because that is the fucking Sealy Posturepedic of fucking toilet seat covers.
Hell yeah, that's
and
the fucking
I
Bentley
want it.
of seats.
I want it. They must have a fucking squatty potty and a goddamn.
I got a squatty
mattress.
potty and a bidet. My shit is out, moves fast.
I did the bidet when the pandemic first hit, and everybody was like, "Oh, we can't get toilet paper anywhere." We bought one of those, like, I don't know, $60 or whatever,
The
like
tushy
bidet
ones or whatever,
attachments. Yeah. Fucking game changer. I never go back.
I got one earlier this year because I wanted to get off baby wipes because I had heard how bad that is, that they're just like,
you do baby wipes. I was just talking to another comedian about this because it seems like the baby wipes are just so cold to be in between your booty hole.
Okay, now Rachel, this is wonderful that you brought this up, because my dream was to have a little fridge that I could keep my baby wipes in because I like it.
You like it cold. Oh.
I use the cold water on the bidet. I don't heat up the water, and my bidet has the option, and I just take a cold blast in the anus every morning.
Wow.
Wrecked him, damn near froze him.
I take a cold blast in the rectum is the name of this episode.
You'll get a lot of downloads, but people will be let down that it's not what they think it is. Yeah.
A lot of downloads, not a lot of subscribers. That's where we're going to be with that episode. I never did. I went straight from toilet paper to bidet. I never did the baby wipes thing. It just seemed like this is the poor person in me. It seemed too extravagant.
It is.
And now I've got money, so like I can afford the bidet or whatever. Now I don't have money, but I have
You have bidet.
more of it.
I have bidet money. I have adult. I have not a child's income. Is what I'm saying.
That's
So,
what that's how I try to phrase it too, Chris, because I'm like, well, now that I have money, and I mean that I'm 40 and have a job and no kid. It's like,
right, exactly. That's exactly it.
I have
That's
enough to
exactly
live a life in Los Angeles, and I don't have children, so I can get a Peloton. Like, that's
right.
Yeah. I'm not rich, but I do have a Peloton.
I have a little bit of.
I'm not rich. It's just my shit is rich. That's all.
There you go. I got a rich.
My taste
asshole.
is rich.
Not to get too personal, Rachel. Are you just a straight paper? What are we
I mean, I would love
Also, you don't
to.
know.
So I just got a new job, and so that's on the list of things that I want. I want to get the little bidet thing because those are amazing. I've experienced them, and my God, they're wonderful. But right now, I'm good with just the paper, the nice
Classic
paper,
paper.
but not the the one ply greater value version shit.
No.
No.
Upgrade in levels. We'll go up to 2-3 ply, then you work your way to baby wipes. Eventually, you get to bidet.
Right.
Yeah, but
I have
baby-
just like the plastic squatty potties, and now I'm gonna get the wooden one.
Ooh,
pretty wooden.
treat yourself. Baby wipes, people were telling me, are bad for the environment. I've been using them for like 10 years. And then someone was like, they're actually really bad because they never break down. And I'm like, but they say flushable. And it's like, that's kind of a lie. So then that made me panic that I'm like, oh, I have to undo that. And so that immediately got me on the bidet track. And the reason I got on baby wipes in the first place was, why can't I think of the Hustle and Flow's name off the top of my head? The guy who says
Terrence
no.
Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard in like a GQ interview one time was talking about baby wipes for some reason and said, if you got dog doo-doo on your arm, would you just use a dry piece of toilet paper to clean it off?
Why is it
and
on
I
your
said,
arm?
I don't know. He was just using that as a reference. Like, if it's on your arm or on like anywhere, would you use
anywhere other than your butthole?
Yeah, anywhere other than your butthole, would you use dry paper just to get it off? And I was like, baby wipes it is. Yeah, holy shit. I didn't think of that. But now I've come around all the way where it's like, why am I listening to Terrence Howard? He's
What
also the guy who says
That's
one
what I was
plus
about
one
to
is
say.
3, right?
Do not take advice from Terrence Howard.
Right.
That is. You might as well take advice from his character on Empire. Like, it's going to be as bad.
That guy has a more level head because the real Terrence Howard has made up his own math too. He has. He's like said like 0 times 0 is not 1 or whatever. You're like, okay.
Yeah, he went on a whole fucking tangent. That nigga is crazy.
He also went on a big thing about women who didn't use baby wipes. I remember he's had multiple baby wipe rants.
Right. Well, I think those are the two.
They're
probably the
together.
same one. But yeah, because that was burned in
Maybe-
my head too. Yeah.
I think he's sponsored. by baby wipes.
I don't take advice from people who play Tito Jackson. That's my.
You know, you've been saying that for a decade, and now it finally starting to make sense.
We could jump into a new letter. So this letter actually took the title of the letter as well, because it put me in a mindset when I first read it that flipped me when I actually read the letter. So the title of this letter is "Son Deserves Dressing Down for Opening Bedroom Drawers." Dear Abby, my husband's son, I'll call him Duncan, came to visit with his family. He lived with us for about 6 months on and off when he was younger. During that time, he twice went through my dresser drawers without my permission. The first time, we discovered a photo of me in a negligee he had found and hidden. The second time, he said he had been looking for a key. I was furious and felt violated. During his recent visit, it happened a third time. I discovered my underwear drawer slightly ajar and knew Duncan had used the bathroom in our bedroom. When I told my husband, he asked me not to let it ruin the rest of their visit. I felt violated again. After Duncan and his family left, I asked my husband if this upset him too, and his reply was that he was upset that I let it bother me. I understand that Duncan is his only son, but I am hurt he's taking Duncan's side. Help, signed Nervous in Nevada. So when I first read that, and I think it does respond to the initial incidents, I was like, oh, this is a kid who is going through his parents' shit, which I know I for sure did. I don't know. I think that's a very common thing for you to do, to like, oh, I remember going through my dad's drawer, like found my dad's condoms or his porn or whatever. Like, it's just a thing you do. But now, once I realize that we're talking about an adult.
Yeah, when he says
like,
visited with his family,
his
you're like,
family?
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So is this his mom or
Yeesh.
his stepmom? I'm thinking it's his
I think
stepmom.
it's his stepmom.
I'm
So
getting
it's hot
stepmom.
stepmom.
I'm getting stepmom.
Well, that's what it, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like if you open
Take
up
the
any
compliment,
porn website,
bitch.
yeah. Open up Pornhub or XTube or whatever your flavor is right now, and just you can't go 3 videos without stepmom being referenced, and they're constantly getting stuck under coffee tables.
They're constantly stuck
Or
in
they
the
just
dryer.
can't get out of the dryer.
Yeah.
It's for sure the dryer, and that always bugs me too, because like how small is your dryer? How fat are you? Because like I'm big, and I couldn't possibly be stuck in my dryer. I just don't know how that works.
What's in the back of the refrigerator? Is that a dick?
But yeah, so that is clearly a thing, right? The stepmom and stepbrother and stepsister. But like, you gotta know that is that's not her real stepmom. Like, you're watching, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
Right.
all
like
actors. Yeah.
It's just actors. You don't, that's not gonna work. Like, in the porn version of this, you catch him going through the drawer, and then you go, oh, is this what you were looking for, the red ones or whatever? And then you fuck him. But that's not what's gonna happen here. You should have the police called on you, I think.
Right, but I'm thinking about the original incident. So when he lived with them 6 months on and
you were
off,
younger.
so he was probably younger. And if I'm like 11 through 17, maybe 16 or 15, and my dad is remarried to a woman, it doesn't even have to be attractive. But at that point in my like heterosexual youth of like, me and my friends went through our friends' mom's drawers together. You know what I mean? Like we would be like, we found my friend's mom's vibrator and we lost it. Like, we could not handle it. We were not ready for it. It was it was like too hot. Like, I was like overwhelmed. And like, whenever I would see his mom after that, who I always thought she was just a kind of cute mom because she had boobs and I was 15. But once I saw the vibrator, I could not unsee. Like, every time I saw her, I just pictured her masturbating. I was like, this is bad. This is bad. I'm gonna ruin the dynamic with my friend here. And that's some hindsight. That's awful creepy. If I was an adult and found out my kids' friends were going through my underwear, I'd be upset too.
That's a real. That's you know how when like if your parents catch you smoking, they're like, well, if you're gonna smoke a cigarette, you're gonna smoke this whole pack to make you stop. I feel like that's the same, like some sort of dumbass Catholic fucking bullshit where they're like, oh, you found a vibrator, now you're gonna watch me fucking vibrate.
Yeah, so the dad's like, there's only one way. There's only one way to learn this lesson, Duncan. You have to fuck my wife. What? Smoke up, Johnny.
I can't. The thought of finding a vibrator. Like I was maybe 12 when I found my dad's condoms, and I literally just like took one to school and put it on the science teacher's graduated cylinder.
Hell
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the level of 12-year-old I was at. But if I had found just a motorized penis, I would have been so scared. I wouldn't even know. I don't know what I would have been able to handle.
I found the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson video VHS in my dad's drawer. And I was just like, it said Pam and Tommy Lee. And I go, I think I know what this is. And like put it immediately in the VCR. And I was like, yes, this is what it is. And then then you're like, yes, I'm going to jack off. And then you're like 10 minutes in, you're like, I'm in my parents' room while jerking off. They're at work. Like if they can come home, I'm fine. What am I doing?
And as someone who has several times jerked off in his parents' room as a child, that didn't stop you from going back. You knew where pornography was. Like you have that thought of like, oh, what am I doing? I'm jerking off in my parents' room. I can't do this again. And then the very next time they are not in the house, you're like, well, let me just, I'll just look at it a little bit. I'll just look at it. I'm in here. And then you had this is like, we're both old enough to remember having to like remember where you started, where the tape was when you found it, so you could rewind it back to the right place,
to the right
so you
exact moment.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember. I never discovered any of my parents' stuff. However, it took me until like being in my 20s to realize. I remember we used to go to Blockbuster all the time, and if I was with my dad, this is back when they had the curtain, and then you go in the back,
like the other video stores.
And I didn't know. He was like, "Oh, see what you want," and then he would go back there. And then years in my 20s, I was like, "Oh, that nigga was trying to get more."
I remember going to New York Video Exchange, was one of our local video stores, and it was like, I don't know, I was a senior in high school at this point, and I saw my 8th grade Spanish teacher coming out of the porn curtain with like just a comically large stack of videos. Like he was like trying to keep it upright, like in his arm, like a Dagwood of porn videos. And we like made eye contact. Yeah.
And you got A's for the rest of the year.
You have AIDS for 1 year. Is that possible? Yeah.
I do also like, by the way, imagine this. We skipped over it a little bit, but in his initial discretions when he went into his stepmom's bedroom drawers, he found a photo of his stepmom in negligee. That's gotta, like, again, it's not your mom. It's just some woman that lives in your house. Yeah. And like, I can almost understand that, like, kickstarting effect, like an upset, you know what I mean?
You look at that when you're 14, it's hard not to think about your stepmom. The next time you go, you're like, what other shit is in the drawer?
But if this is happening in now times, right? We'll say 2020, 2021. If it's happening in now times, and he found a photograph of it, that means this photograph was from at least 20 years ago. Because who the fuck still just has photographs laying around? No one's going to develop film anymore. They're just sending it to you or fucking airdropping it to you and calling it a day. So this is like probably her from 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You're also making me realize she had a picture of herself in her own drawer. That's also kind of weird. I keep my little sexy photos in my own underwear drawer.
Well, she can't trust Duncan. She's got to keep it somewhere.
Yeah, Duncan, that freak. He's fucking sniffing. He can't get like Paulie Walnuts when he sniffs.
Exactly. Oh shit. I don't know. Here's the thing. If we're gonna give like actual advice, you don't let this creep come to your house anymore. Like he's not, or like he,
or just very take your drawers with you when you leave. If you know he coming over, just put all your drawers in a thing and just go to the mall and come back.
Shit, no, Rachel, you're on to something. Empty your underwear drawer, put a note in there that says Duncan really ? And close it. So when he comes in, he tiptoes in like a perv and opens it, and he's like, the shame. He might bust because the shame might be the thing.
Yeah, that might be his thing.
For sure.
That's why he's in the bathroom.
right.
I'm
scared.
super aroused. I feel like I should tell you guys. This is a hot story.
No, look.
Anyone else's face warm?
Yeah, you do. You're a little flushed, John. I'm not gonna lie. You're a little red.
Yeah, a little outdoors time with the shirt off will do that to you. Well, not you guys, but me.
I get it.
Do it to oneself.
All right, let's go ahead. We've got some more here we can get through before we wrap this up. Let's do. Dear Abby, I need your assistance resolving an awkward situation. I have noticed other women experiencing wardrobe malfunctions. In each instance, they were otherwise tastefully dressed, but seemingly unaware of the sheerness of their clothing. For example, one was wearing white slacks through which the patterned fabric of her underwear could be seen clearly. Is there a polite way to alert them of their problem, or is it better to say nothing? Most of these women were strangers. I couldn't think of a tactful wording, even when it happened to be a friend. Signed, just trying to help.
You just say, excuse me, ma'am, I can see your drawers. Did you know that?
Okay, not everybody is as forward as you are, Rachel.
Then you
that
pull
is
them
an
to the
uncomfortable
side. You
conversation
pull them to the side. You say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but the way the sun is hitting through your Fashion Nova clothes, I can see your drawers. And then you move on.
Yeah. So, Rachel, would you want someone to do that to you? Like, if you are accidentally...
Absolutely. Listen, the whole dress, the dress and the drawers thing is still a thing, no matter how old you are. So if that's something is going on and you can see, absolutely. But I will say I can understand how it's hard, especially nowadays when most women want to look like hoes. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. It feels like it could be intentional, 75% of the time. And especially if a woman is impeccably dressed, you assume that she's made a bunch of these specific choices, and she knew.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a dude because women would know their comfort level of talking to her. They'd be like, let that lady ride, or like I should probably let her know that her fly's open or whatever. Because dudes are like, I want to go. Like, they're gonna be like, I can see your underwear, and it's like vibe is off, bro. You like made that.
I think
you need to.
I could see areola in that tank top, sir. Get the fuck out of here.
Can you just drive the bus, please? And leave me alone?
I've seen. I think as women, I see it almost every day where I see someone and I honestly go, okay. Do I tell her or don't I tell her? And then I spend about good 2-3 minutes assessing if she did this on purpose. Like, did this outfit come that way? Did she mean to do that? And sometimes I just don't care enough.
Yeah. Also, men are trash, as we have very much established many times on the show. I remember I worked at one of my terrible call center gigs, and I was like a supervisor at one point, and then very quickly fired for not doing any work and just being on the internet all day. But we had a meeting, like a supervisor meeting, and at one point they brought up a specific employee who had very large breasts and was wearing very low cut tops to work. And one of the female supervisors was like, it's out of dress code. We kind of need to tell her to just dress more appropriately for a business setting or whatever. And then there were 3 other dudes. It was like the main manager was a dude, and then 2 levels down were dudes before they hit our supervisor level. And all of those dudes were like, I don't see a problem. I don't see how we can address. Just
let's not rock the boat.
in a meeting, just said it to people. So I don't know that dudes are the ones to be like, oh, hey, I can see your drawers through your pants.
Yeah, I remember one time I was driving back in Austin. I was driving around, and it was a real nice day, super sunny outside. Got the windows down high. Not high. I don't drive high. Who said that? Anyway, I'm out and I'm out, and this motorcycle comes up, and it was one of those motorcycles that was really meant to be one person, but they got someone on the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So it was a woman, and she had a crop top thing on. So okay, that's fine, but she had on those ghetto beauty store tights that have one layer of thread to them, and they were red, and then she had on like white drawers underneath. And so she has her legs spread, bent over in the sun, and so all you can see is her ass. And I was stuck in traffic next to her and her ass, and I didn't know what to do because I knew she didn't know. She kept putting her hands behind her every once in a while, so I'm like, oh, you don't know. But then I was like, I can't just yell that out the window. I can't be like, ma'am. I can see it all. And I've seen women with super short, like shorts so short, I could have given them a fucking exam. Like I was like, I can see your clit, ma'am. It's hanging out of your shorts.
I'm thinking back to the times when I was a kid, when I was younger, and like a friend or a adult female would have like the buttons on the shirt be like one off, or like that little and then you could kind of like at an angle see in to see some bra. And I just remember being a kid and like a moment where that like occurs with like a teacher. And now I'm 39 and I'll be next to like a woman at a coffee shop and she'll be like, oh, can I have a cold brew? And she'll just have like a tank top and no, like, and you just like, but now you also want to be cool. So you're just like, yeah, like you can't say anything, but you like, did I just see like the side of a boob? I saw a little something globe there. Should I look back? She's wearing the shirt. Am I a creep? Oh my God, get out of the store. Just got here too high. I'm not high. Get the coffee. Get the fuck out. I wasn't driving. I walked to that cafe.
I was at the HEB, the grocery store here in Austin, and a woman, I was going to say girl because I'm old. She was probably 22. And she was wearing a sheer black shirt, no bra, and just like, you could just see her whole ass titties. Like there was she might as well. She 100% did that on purpose. She also had like, and not to judge, she had like green hair, like big chunky boot. Like she was putting a look. Already, so. She was putting a look together. She went to the grocery store to like have a moment. But even in that moment, like I've progressed past creep to like old dad. Because, like, I saw her and I was like,
putting a hoodie on her.
Put a shirt on. Like, come on.
You
like,
around fruit with your nipples on the bananas and shit.
I'm trying to buy growth. That's my thing. Like, I know it's weird. Like, my fiance and I were just talking today because she's like, she listens to the podcast and, like, weird nudity comes up a fair amount on this podcast. And she jokingly was like, oh, did you get your letters ready for the podcast? Like, I pull letters or whatever. And she'll go like, oh, hi, I opened a sandwich shop, but I do it naked. And I was like, immediately, I was like, ew, no, I don't want to eat a sandwich around your pussy. Like, I don't, not your pussy specifically, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. So when I saw this, like, nudity in public places now doesn't make me hot. It makes me feel like you're not supposed to do, like, you're breaking the rules. It's weird. Right. I've just become like a conservative.
I think, well, especially with the pandemic being over, or coming to an end, I've worn more bralettes or just no bra, and at this point you're not going to make me do it either. Like it's been a year, I have set a new habit, but if I'm going to go outside without a bra on, I make sure it's like good fabric. I will go out on my balcony, hold it up to the fucking sun and go, can you see this? Can you see through this? If the answer is no, then I'm going outside. But if it's like, oh yeah, I can see straight through it, then no, I'm not. I can't. I'm freer, but I'm not that damn free. Kudos to those people. The people those guys having showers with their friends, and now this one just dig out, go for it. I can't. Just don't be around my food. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the grocery store thing weirded me out. And it's just a titty. It's not leaking or anything. It's not hairs coming off. But like at the end of the day, I was still like, this is just weird. I'm squeezing this cantaloupe. Now you're standing here with your titties. It just feels weird.
Do you remember when like black bras or bright colored bras under tight white t-shirts was the thing, and like purposely showing the color off? I was like the age where seeing a bra, when that became popular, I was also at the age where seeing a bra was a rare occurrence. You know what I mean? Like, so like those dovetailed nicely that I was like 15 and everyone started doing that, and I was like,
Was that the Christina Aguilera dirty phase of the world?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was a Xtina over Britney all day.
Let's go ahead and wrap up. We'll do one more letter and we'll get out of here. Dear Abby, I've been married for 35 years. We have one daughter. My husband has this quote unquote thing about grabbing other women's behinds. He hugs them and then he goes in for a grab. It bothers me so much. It hurts my feelings, and I have told him so, but he still does. It's very fair. Men have told me they don't want him touching their wives this way. Others have said it's disrespectful to me. He says he will try to stop doing it. What do you think about this? Am I overreacting? After all these years, I just don't know what to think. Signed, Hands Off in Rochester.
After all these years, you are overreacting because he's been doing it your whole career as a couple, and now you have a problem with it. You should have been had a problem. At this point, fucking grab away. Fucking go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time before your husband is fired from his job or, like thrown out of the community because that shit has not been cool for decades, and people used to get away with murder, and now it's like that shit is definitely not cool anymore.
Sounds like presidential behavior to me.
If a guy says, "Hey, dude, don't grab my wife's ass next time you hug her," like, how do you go about and do that again?
Continuing to do that?
That's bold to say. I don't know. I feel like I should grab your wife's ass.
Yeah, we've kind of this is kind of our thing. We've been doing this for a while. No, like, how intimidating is this dude? Because, like, other men bring this up. Like, people go to the wife because I'm assuming they're scared of this guy. I picture him, like, doing it and staring the men in the eyes while, you know what I'm saying?
It's a power thing.
Real dominance establishing
now.
move. Yeah.
I'm assuming this person is like The Rock because I don't. He's the only person I can think of that if I'm with somebody and The Rock just grabbed my ass, I assume my man would not want to fucking fight The Rock. I wouldn't. Have you seen that nigga? He's huge.
Yeah.
Anyone else,
he's all
I would
show.
be like,
I'm willing to fuck that guy up. He's got no fucking edge. I love him, but he's like absolutely fucking edgeless. He's got. Yeah, I think if you punch him in the chest, he'd weep.
I don't know. You ever see
I
that?
think you're confusing The Rock with Vin Diesel.
Have you ever
honestly, I would rather throw hands with The Rock than Vin Diesel because I think Vin Diesel has hands. I don't think The Rock has hands.
Wow.
The Rock has
Hot
muscles.
take.
But I do think Vin Diesel has been through it. You know, he's like a break dancer and shit. Like he came up in a different way. The Rock is a professional wrestler, which is he's going to make him
fake fighting.
Yes, exactly.
Agreed. However, have you seen that episode of Punk'd when they tried to punk The Rock and he almost killed like 6 people? Right. Like, I think The Rock has a temper. I don't know. I think The Rock
that's
if
true.
you've read his
can
book,
accidentally fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? I think The Rock would accidentally fuck you up. Like, he wouldn't even need to have hands. And also, I don't know how much hands Vin Diesel has. He plays Dungeons and Dragons all the time. I know a lot of break dancers. Yeah, I get it. I know a lot of break dancers that that came up breakdancing and could unless they catch you with a windmill kick while they're doing
unless it's Eddie Guerrero or whatever his name is from Tekken.
Eddie Guerrero. Fucking XOXOXO. You only needed 2 buttons.
That was my shit. And then when you can unlock the fucking disco version, Tiger or whatever his name was, that was my jam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but if your man, if my man sees another man grab me, I'm assuming we're all going to jail tonight. If he just lets it go, it's like, that's not Stone Cold sucking fucking Steve Austin. Hit his ass. Yeah. Do something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not. So here's the thing. We are in, but I kind of feel like this. I think, and my fiance may get mad at me. I think if we're somewhere where The Rock is and The Rock hugs my fiance and grabs her ass, she might just high five me. That might be a moment where she is just like, "Oh shit, did you see that? Fuck yeah, I did." Like, that might be a power move for her.
Yeah, I mean, me and my wife and I are so in we know each other's tastes and celebrity crushes that there's probably a list of people that if they grab my ass or someone grabbed her ass, the other partner would know That's cool. Like if Charlie Hunnam ever touches my wife's ass, that is her birthday
Jax?
present. Yeah, Jax Teller. Yeah,
She's a Jax Teller head.
Yeah.
I used to work another terrible call center gig. I worked in a call center with a woman whose desk was just Sons of Anarchy out. Like people bring
that's a bad play. That's a bad. That's a bad job.
Every picture, she had a frame that she made that went around her monitor that was just various Sons of Anarchy. Like,
wow, that's awesome. I got jibs. I got them all.
Yeah, she had jibs. She had she had all of them. Yeah.
Well, my wife thinks I look like Opie a little bit, so that's like where that's kind of. I think it's just because I'm big and fat and have a beard, and I used to have long hair. Now I just have a mullet. But yeah, I'm like, no, tell me I look like Jax, please. As his bare ass is pumping away on some poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah, I do think if we're talking about celebrity, if a celebrity did it, then whoever I'm with has to know there is a list of people that it's on site with. Okay, I don't give a shit. It's on site. It doesn't matter who you. I can love you. We could be married for 45 years on site with some people.
Yeah,
and
I do feel like though. I also do kind of feel like a little bit that my fiance's list of crushes aren't the celebrity that's just gonna grab your ass.
Right, that's part of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't see Chris Evans really just being that dude. He seems cooler
That's how they
than
get
that.
you. That's how they get you.
Yeah. But also, if it turns out my fiance's crush is Jeremy Piven, we're in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like for multiple reasons.
Yeah, my wife loves Johnny Depp. So they keep shitting in the bed together. I don't get it.
Wait, what?
All right.
Is that a thing?
There was some news story that Amber Heard filed a complaint against Johnny Depp that he kept defecating in the bed because he would be like so fucked up out of his mind and shit.
The wildest, you know what's so weird, and this is a tangent, but it is Johnny Depp related. I keep, like, once a week, like, justice for Johnny Depp is just trending on Twitter. Like, that's a hashtag that's trending. And it's like, there hasn't been a new news article. That's just, like, a real groundswell of support that keeps coming up for Johnny Depp for some fucking reason.
I randomly saw, I'll keep this tangent going. I randomly saw on Twitter a group of people complaining about a movie podcast saying you can't cover the Pirates movies because Johnny Depp is an abuser. And I was like, this is so complicated. Like, this is so, like, the director didn't do it. The, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's one
there's a lot of other people involved in this movie that aren't abusers. Like, for sure. Well, because there's a big difference. Like, I don't know that I can watch The Cosby Show anymore because it's hard to watch The Cosby Show without Bill Cosby.
I still watch The Cosby Show. I still do, but and I'll continue to say this. The Cosby Show is not about Cliff. It is about Claire Huxtable. Just watch Claire.
I can respect that. Claire was a very important figure in my life. I had a hot crush on Claire for a minute. And I got to say this. Felicia Rashad, I just watched like maybe 2 movies recently with her in it. Killing it. I called her on Twitter the Rashad-assance. I want her back. She's great.
I'm pretty sure those movies were Tyler Perry Presents, and I don't know. What?
No. She was in a Blumhouse. She was in a Blumhouse like horror movie, and then she was in that Netflix Christmas Black People Christmas movie.
Oh, she was
like
in her sister,
Black Magic Christmas.
Her sister's movie, the Jingle Jangle.
Debbie Allen. Jingle, yeah, that's
Jingle
the one.
Jangle.
That's the one. By the way, that was the blackest way to get to either of those names. It's like Black Magic Christmas. Oh, you know Debbie Allen. Jingle Jingle. What's the name? Yeah.
I was like, don't weigh in, Gabrus. Don't try to guess the movie. You might end up being offended.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Black Christmas? Oh, that one where Santa kills people?
What Black Christmas movies? Excuse me? Sorry.
Friday after next? No, that's not the one. That was Christmas time, right?
That was the Christmas time.
Friday, it was Christmas time. Yep.
This was a blast. Rachel, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet across all medias at Rachel Hall is Funny. You can listen to my podcast, Hood Novel Book Club. We're reading a nice little book called Pregnant by My Best Friend's Husband. So,
Hell yeah.
By the way, how long have you been doing that for a minute now? What's your favorite hood novel that you've come across on that one?
I've been saying nothing has been crazier or just stupider than this hoe got roaches in her crib. But
I mean, the title is a poem in and of itself. So.
But I'm starting to believe that Pregnant by My Best Friend's Husband will top.
Gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah, we'll take me to the next level. So, and then, but yeah, do that. And if you're in Chicago tonight, if you're in Chicago, you can just come by the Laugh Factory. I'll probably be there.
Do that.
Hell yeah.
Gabrus, what's going on with you? Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
I'm at Gabrus on all social media, Gabrus. And then I have my own podcast called High and Mighty, which is a chat show. And then I have a Patreon podcast called Action Boys, where we review action movies for longer than the lengths of their movies. That doesn't mean it's a good thing, but
it kind of is. I'll be honest with you, as someone who listens to the podcast, the fact that you can do like 3 hours and 45 minutes on Sniper is fucking awesome.
Yeah, people like it. It activates some OCD in people. And then also financially, if you're paying for a podcast, the longer it is, the more minutes per dollar you're getting, which is not necessarily a good thing. Yeah.
It's like a buffet.
Right, exactly.
You gotta get all your plates in.
The kind of sort of like Aspergery people that pay for podcast content, that
they're happy that we go.
That
beat
math
by
works
beat.
out for sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have free episodes on whatever podcast app you look at. If you just search Action Boys, we have a few like 10 of our free episodes out there. Get a sniff, get you hooked, and then come back for more.
Do that for sure. I am at Chris Cubas on all social media. If you like the show, rate, review, subscribe, do that thing on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate it. If you're in Austin, Texas, and you need a free meal, Red Beans and Rice with Yours Austin does free red beans and rice every Sunday. Sign up goes out on Tuesday at noon. We'll deliver it to your door. And thanks for checking out Bad Advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.